And we're live, I think.
What's up?
We should
What's
be.
Are we live or are we not? Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, my fellow darkies? How y'all doing out there? It's been a while. Welcome back to Out of the Darkness. Pick up or grab your favorite seat, your most comfortable chair. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of ground to cover. I got my Ace Boone Coon Soder here.
What?
My Ace Boone Coon. Soder, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh gosh, man, it's been a week.
It's
I had Monday and Friday off, which made the work week horrible.
Oh, come on now.
Uh no, it really screws you up not going in on a Monday. You
Yeah.
gotta go on the rest of the week and you know you have Friday off. I kept going, all right, on Tuesday. All right, I'm gonna go home and I can stay up all night. I can sleep in tomorrow. Wait a minute, tomorrow's Wednesday. I can't, I'm going back into work. Oh, it was the most horrible feeling.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I'm gonna play the world's smallest violin for you, man. I tell you what, I think
Oh, it's
that's your
first
white
world
privilege talking.
problem. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh, I have a job and I have essential
Oh,
status
I'm essential.
and
Yeah.
they pay me lots and lots of money to
Wow.
do stuff. What? Oh, you don't want me to telling on you?
No, 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 no. I don't
Okay,
want them
so
to think they're paying me a lot of money.
okay. No, Soder has not gotten slapped yet. He has not gotten slapped yet. Gelth Walker, I'm gonna go ahead and read his thank you so much, buddy. $2. Is that Australian dollars? $2 Australian?
I think so. He is from Australia. So,
Two Aussie dollars. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. Did you get bitch slapped yet? First off, no,
that's
he did
the B
not.
word, by the
That
way.
is, I'm sorry, B word, slapped yet. I was like, do I say it?
Um,
So yeah, no, he has not gotten slapped yet. We are going to be doing that here very quickly. We thought about, social distancing and all that stuff, and I thought, let's just do it. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. So I'm looking forward to it.
I don't
I'm
like the
looking
way that
forward to it.
sounded.
Oh man, I tell you what, man, I've been doing a little bit of extra lifting and
Oh,
been exercising my right hand a little bit. Uh, I've been doing my calisthenics, man, making sure I get my stretches in. They say watching the videos, so making sure, and then I just go around slapping stuff and try to make sure I can hit the same spot again. So I'm working on
well,
my aim.
God, there's just so many domestic abuse jokes in here, but
Oh.
I can't make them. I can't make them. I'm not. I haven't had
Yeah.
enough to drink to do those jokes yet.
Oh man. Well, take another sip and let's get it on. So I think we're going to have uh, our favorite legislator coming on to talk a little bit about Minnesota. It's kind of crazy, man. Um, I never thought that we would be so famous, man. And not us, but
Oh
Minnesota.
yeah,
I mean, everybody's talking about Minnesota. I mean, I didn't think most of these people knew where Minnesota was. So that's
they
kind of
probably
cool.
still don't.
Well, it's possible. But I mean, anyway, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So, um,
Yes, I
okay,
enjoy hearing that something else happened in Minnesota and the entire country has decided to shit itself again.
man, the entire world, bro. Like they were protesting overseas over some
Yeah.
place that
Oh,
it's crazy. So, when I'm overseas, I typically tell people I'm from Texas, which I am. But I tell people, because, oh, yeah, Texas, Texas. Man, nobody knows where the hell Minnesota is. I mean, I had a guy one time, I told him I lived in Minnesota. And dude's like, so is that where Santa Claus is? Like, no joke. No joke. He just figured, man, Minnesota, nobody actually lives there. So,
are you listening
okay.
to us?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Well,
Okay.
while you're
Yeah.
fixing that,
Yeah.
Sheldon
Yeah.
Walker, 2 more Australian dollars. Oh wait, sorry, Q. Needs to pimp hand slap him.
Man, slap him. Come on, man. You can't. Wow. Prince was from Minnesota. Yeah, Prince was from Minnesota, but man, Prince
I
spent
mean,
more
who
time.
really knew that though?
Are
Come
you
on.
kidding me, man?
No,
Next, you're
is
gonna
it
tell me you
something
don't.
when you hear Prince, do you go, "Oh, Minnesota, that's great."
Yo, no,
No,
man. Like,
no,
I
you
think
don't.
everybody knew Prince was from Minnesota. So I actually had a guy the other day. So I got into one of those stupid discussions, debates with someone over, right? It happens from time to time. But this was actually not politics based, right? So this guy, he asked me, who is the greatest guitar player of all time? And that'll get you in trouble because everybody has their own idea of who the greatest guitar player of all time. I said, I can't necessarily say that he is the greatest, but I have to say that he's up there with the greatest. Prince was absolutely 100% one of the greatest guitar players of all time. If you do not believe that, you got to go back and watch a YouTube video with him and Tom Petty. And I believe it's called My Guitar Weeps. But yeah, you got to check that out, man. This dude has like a 5-minute guitar solo, and it is just yeah. While my guitar gently weeps. There you go.
Guitar.
There you go. Yeah, no, man, that. Ooh, man, yeah, you check that out and tell
All
me
right,
that he is.
I have it in another window here. I'll listen to it when we're done here.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, if you like good music, man, yeah, that's so. I will say that most people do associate him with. What are you laughing about? What happened?
I'm laughing at the newest super chat.
Oh, while training, are you reciting the pimp's prayer? Wait, is that 2 California dollars? Did they finally secede from the
Canadian.
union?
Oh, God, that's so fun. God, I wish I could be funny like that. Like every joke I've ever said on the show, I've just agonized hours over for the previous week. Going, okay, are we going to talk about this? Okay, if he does this, I can make this joke. If he does this, I can make this joke. If we go down this rabbit,
you're trying too hard, man. You're a funny dude. You're a funny dude. So
no, but right there, I was like, Canadian dollars. Like, oh, it's a great joke. It's a great joke. And I'm like, no, of course not. You simpleton. It's Canadian. God.
Yeah.
The monkey needs to dance.
Why don't the Canadians use pounds? And they still have the Queen on their money. Why don't they just call them Canadian pounds?
They want to be us. That's the problem.
They do. They want to be us so bad, man. I was actually up there, just on the other side of Canada. I wanted to step across the line, but they say only essential. Well, only essential crossers, I guess. So
should have said, "I'm Justin Trudeau."
No, man, I'm in blackface.
Yeah, like, look, I just went over here to talk with Walz about racial disparities. I'm coming back home now. Just let me over.
Yeah, man. The crazy part about it is, it's like, I mean, I thought about, hey, I'm a black man trying to escape America. Like, I thought you guys always took in black people. I mean, hasn't that been like a historical relationship? I mean, black people should always be welcome in Canada, right?
Yeah, and that alternate future history, the Confederate States of America film.
You know what? I still got to check that out.
You haven't seen that yet?
I still haven't seen it, man.
It's a great film.
I got to do better, man. I got to do better. So do you think that California will secede first, or do you think that Seattle will secede first? Looks like Seattle's already at least 6 blocks of Seattle is already making a move for it, right?
Well, considering what you told me just before the stream, that they've walked it back to CHOP, a Capitol Hill occupied protest
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
yeah.
I have a feeling California might be first because this sounds like they're walking it back. Like someone realized, oh shit, if we're not part of the United States, that's a lot of problems for everyone here.
Right.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
I mean, do you have? Okay, so tell me this:
We've always been at war with Eurasia. We've always been a part of the United States.
Do you have the right to bomb? Do you have the right to bomb your citizens that are not citizens? I mean, if you secede from the Union, technically you could drone strike them, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, but distinguishing the people who were just there when it happened.
Wouldn't they be enemy combatants, though?
You'd have okay, so I think you'd have to identify who's actively participating in it and who's just there, right? Because like if I had a building that I lived in that section, and they're like, we're a separate country now, we're no longer part of the United States,
You better
but
get
I
the hell
haven't
out.
done anything.
Better get the hell out then.
Perhaps, but like I don't lose my citizenship just because of that, right?
Oh, this is true, but I mean, collateral damage, man.
Like, I didn't do anything to secede. A bunch of people around me decided to do some really stupid stuff.
But since when did we ever give a damn about it hurting innocent people? I mean, our governor cheered as they burnt down apartment buildings of people who had zero to do with George Floyd being killed.
Well, they lived in a systematically racist institutional city in Minnesota, so they supported it with their tax dollars.
You know, I'm getting so incredibly sick of this whole systematic racism bullcrap, man. I really, really am. It's
and it's so weird when the council's made up of a bunch of black people. The police chief's a black guy. What was it? The Lane guy tutored Somalians.
It's frustrating, man. It's super frustrating to me. And then, did you see that I almost wanted to throw up, man, as Nancy Pelosi walks into to the Capitol, wherever the hell she was, and decides to pander to all black kind, right? Her and the rest of her cronies wearing kente cloth. Now,
I thought that was a really weird stance to take.
That was gross, man. That was incredibly gross. And then the worst part about it is her old ass couldn't get up after she did. Like, so she has to wave. No, seriously, watch the video, man. She has to wave one of her aides over to help her get up off the floor. So
let's try to find this. I want to share this.
She has to wave somebody over to help get her ass up off the floor. I'm thinking, look, man, I mean, there's certain things, I'm getting older. There's certain things that I don't do, right? But how the hell do you know you can't get off the floor? So she has to wave somebody else, and she's wearing kente cloth. Are you kidding me, man? That's absolute. I mean, okay, so at what point is it cultural appropriation? At what point? Because
I'd say it was probably when she took the knee, because that's Kaepernick's thing. All right, I got the video. I'm gonna present it.
Did you see where she tried to get up off the floor and couldn't get up?
Oh, wrong window.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah. Put this up. Hey, we're getting fancy here. Look at this.
I hope they can hear it.
Hard to get up.
It's hard to get up. It was a black chick.
She has to get chick. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. So she calls over.
I got the cough. Oh, it was so funny. I got the cough.
She calls the
Oh,
black lady over and says, "Hey, get me up off this damn floor. I'm doing this for you people anyway."
oh, oh my gosh.
So
Oh,
I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my God, if you're gonna do it, at least be able to stand up. But that was okay. So up until that point, I
oh,
felt like the worst pandering accident was our incident, I should say, was the show that what was that? Not Sway in the Morning. I think it was. Well, okay, so Charlemagne the God. So she was. Hillary Clinton was on with Charlemagne the God, and
Charlemagne the God?
Charlemagne the God. You don't know about Charlemagne?
I've never heard of this. Oh, I've heard
He
of the Charlemagne, but not this
no
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne the God. He's the same guy who had Biden on, and Biden said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for me." Right?
Okay, I didn't know it was. I didn't
Yeah,
know that was his name. I
his
just
name
knew
is
that he
his
had
name.
said that.
He goes by the name Charlemagne the God, right? And so when Hillary Clinton
Wait,
came
wait,
up,
wait. Isn't that appropriating French culture? I
so
mean,
okay, but
is he seriously appropriating white French culture?
so the French have no culture. Come on, man. So
I suppose
so
that's pretty true.
so check it though. So when Hillary Clinton goes on there and says, "Oh yeah, I carry hot sauce everywhere," and, and then
I'm
she gets
detecting
up,
a pattern with Charlemagne here.
right, and then she gets up and says, "I ain't in no ways tired." I'm like, what? So wait a minute. So in order to appeal to black people, your sense or your grasp of the English language has to go out the window. So are you saying that black people can't speak proper English? I mean, that that's bullcrap to me, right? And then people eat this shit up though. That's the thing that
Oh,
pisses me off.
she's one
So
of us.
she's one of us. So all it takes, and this is the reason why nothing's ever going to change for black people. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If some old white people in $1,000 shoes can walk into a building, put on some kente cloth around their neck, and kneel on the floor, not even with the good sense to be able to get their ass up afterwards, is going to buy your vote, then you don't deserve a damn vote. I'm just going to call it right there. That's bullcrap. Are you kidding me? This she has to call she's kneeling in solidarity with black people, but then she has to have the black woman come over and help her ass up off the ground. Are you kidding me?
Uh, God, that was man. For people who always are so concerned about the optics,
Oh my
holy cow,
goodness,
the
man.
optics!
Right? Right? So it's just I watched that and I had to go back and I'm like, wait a minute. I know I didn't see what I think I just saw, and sure as hell I did. I saw exactly what I thought I saw. I mean, it would be like, look, man. So it would be like if some Indian guy got shot, right, or a Mexican guy got shot and got killed by the police, and I decided to go put on a sombrero and a fake mustache to show up and show my solidarity for the Mexican people. How do you think that would go over, right? While drinking a
uh,
margarita.
Probably poorly,
I mean,
especially for me. But yes,
it wouldn't go over poorly, especially if you were a Democratic candidate. Oh, they'd
oh,
be
I'm not
like,
a
oh,
Democrat.
well,
No,
well,
that's
absolutely, yeah. Oh man, we stand in solidarity with the Mexicans, like Trump. I love tacos. So it is.
I
You
still
can't
can't
make
believe you
this
said
stuff.
that.
You cannot make this stuff up, man, and it's so frustrating because I'm waiting for people to stand up and be like, you know what, you guys are freaking pandering. This is bullcrap. I'm not gonna put up with it anymore. But it's not working. It's not working. Depends on what tequila brand you're using. Come on, man. There's only one tequila brand for margaritas. That's Jose Cuervo, man. You know that. So
I actually don't know anything about tequila.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not a big fan of Jose Cuervo, but you're not going to use the top shelf stuff for margaritas. I mean,
Well,
you
you
just
you
won't.
don't use the top shelf stuff to mix stuff.
No,
All the
no.
flavors
Well,
get all mucked up.
you got to tell my wife that, man. I came home one day and she made a big old thing of margaritas, her and her sister, and they'd used the top shelf uh,
Oh,
tequila. Man, it went through a
you do
whole
that to
bottle
show
of.
off. Maybe she was
No,
showing off.
no, she wasn't. She was like, "Oh, this is really good. This is really, really good." She's like, "This is great tequila." She's like, "Oh, it'll make great margaritas." And I'm like, "You can't taste the tequila. I mean, hardly with the way y'all do the margaritas. What's the point?" And like oh yeah, that is license for divorce. We made it through it. We can make it through that. We can make it through anything. So, but yeah, that was
uh,
that was
Speaking of getting
tough.
through, we do have a couple super chats to get through.
Let's get through some super chats. So yeah, because I got a couple other things that I gotta say, man, this is a rough week for me. This is a rough week for me because I was watching a lot of different things going on, and anyway, go ahead and read the super chats. We'll get into it.
Okay, Sakake Onsai for $2. Hashtag SB42 should overtake and beat up BLM. SB42 forever. I agree. SB42 is the best. Nathan Dungus for $5. Douglas, I'm so sorry. For $5. I'm a little late, so I'm going to restart the stream. But I love you guys. Listening while I do chores and maybe with the wife when she gets back. Well, this is a couples friendly show. We're not child friendly.
Yeah.
Because YouTube wanted us to tell them every time we start a stream if it was child friendly or not. It is most definitely not.
No.
So not with your kids.
No. Put the babies to bed.
Derpy Jew for $5. Is Care Bears a lot an ethno state? Yes, Care Bears is an ethno state. They sent the cousins to their own special place. And if I remember right, there was an episode of Robot Chicken where they committed genocide against the Care Bear cousins.
Oh, we're gonna have to get some Care Bear merch, man. We're gonna have to figure out how to turn you into a Care Bear.
What is it gonna have? What are these Care Bears gonna have on their stomach? Like hashtag SB42?
You know, it could. We could even have a Care Bear with the SB42 or the Out of the Darkness logo on his chest. That'd be all right. Somebody actually came at me this week for saying that that our logo was racist because it showed a white guy coming out of the darkness. So, yeah.
Do they not know anything about contrast? I mean, how exactly would that work if he was black? I mean, do we need to start putting shades in there? SB 1 through 42 now?
Yeah. Like, it's a white guy coming out of the darkness. Why is he white? Anyway, all right. Let's finish the super chat.
All right. One just came in from Shadows King 101. SB42 is greater than MS13. Q, bacon and baked macaroni or no?
Absolutely. You had me at bacon.
Bacon and everything. Bacon and macaroni, even just if it's stovetop.
Oh, no. No, sorry. I can't do the stovetop thing. But man, so bacon is always the answer. Absolutely.
I'm just saying that the bacon would be good even in stovetop. Like, that's all you could do.
Dude, I had stovetop once. Not a fan. I gotta say, not a fan. So
I suppose you did grow up in that nice neighborhood of Houston.
Man,
you wouldn't have had such things in Alaska.
Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna say this because my wife, she's not watching. All right, so you know how when you meet the in-laws, right? You always want to put your best foot forward. You want to, you want to impress, right? You never
You don't want your future father-in-law to think that you're a screw up,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That
You
you're
know,
just going to make his daughter's life a living hell.
my father-in-law asked my wife straight up, so why do you want to scrape the bottom of the barrel? So there was really no chance in
Oh
there was
man, was he a white nationalist or something?
there really wasn't a whole lot of chance for me to make a great first impression there. But so my wife, I take her home for I think it was Thanksgiving, I want to say. My wife to be, she wasn't my wife yet. And so my mother made she broke out, I mean, all the finest, man. So she fried chicken, she made collard greens, she made macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes. I mean, it wasn't even Thanksgiving. This was like the pre-Thanksgiving like spread.
It sounds like something Hillary or Biden would do.
Well, black eyed
Pelosi.
peas. I mean, just I mean, it was a like a soul food meal with cornbread, the works, right? And so my wife, my wife has one flaw. She's a fantastic woman. She has one flaw, and that's because she's a terrible whisperer, absolutely awful whisperer. Like
You'd think they'd be better at that,
right?
I guess.
My wife, if she whispered in the other room right now, I promise the whole chat would be able to hear her. Right? She's a terrible whisperer. So she comes over, and we're mom, is making plates and things like that, and she says, hey, is there a Taco Bell or anything open, that we can go grab something to eat? And of course everybody kind of ignores it, even though I know everyone heard it, but they just kind of look down, And I was like, what would you want to do that for? I was like, all this good food here. I mean, this is fantastic stuff. Like, why would you? What? That's crazy talk. She says, I know, but no, check it out, Soder. I know, but I don't really eat slave food.
No.
Everybody goes, You could have heard a pin drop, bro. Oh man.
Apparently you married a white supremacist. I can't believe it.
So my mom, who had just been cooking for like 8 hours, she had a few hurdles to cross, and they love each other now. I think my mom likes her more than she likes me most of the time. But oh my God, man, we will never let her live that down, ever, ever. She says, I don't really eat slave food, and she meant to say soul food, but for some reason, slave, soul. I mean, it's pretty much
it's pretty similar. I mean, I can understand, though. I'm the kind of guy who goes, don't say slave, don't say slave, don't say slave. I don't eat slave food. No.
Oh man, it was at the time I was trying to figure out how the heck to reverse time and get out of that situation. And she felt just absolutely terrible. She really did. She felt awful. But it made for a great story. She's like, I don't really eat slave food.
That's a good story. I'm gonna have to give her crap about that.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh, it's
I'll have to have you guys over for that food sometime.
For that food. Just remember
for that food.
Soul food. Don't call it. Yeah.
I'll have you guys over for slave.
Yeah, just whatever you do, man. My wife already thinks you're slightly suspect, so don't walk us in there and be like, "Hey, kids, would you like some slave food?" That'll be the shortest visit.
It might be a tough sell, with you being on a keto diet and stuff. That's very un-keto. And we'd have to talk on Snapchat with deleting messages.
Yeah.
So that she can't find the proof.
Yeah.
Hints.
So, but man, so so what are you thinking about this? I mean, so Minneapolis is saying they are going to, for sure, um, well, I'm sorry, the city council is saying they have the votes that they need to do away with the Minneapolis Police Department. How do you feel about that?
Um, well, I have a feeling I know where I'm not going to be going or going around.
You don't go to those neighborhoods anyway.
No, I don't. Well, like if I was like if I was going to go visit Tim in St. Paul at his offices,
Yep.
I'd probably be driving through on 394.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Maybe now I'm going to be taking 494 or 694. Just kind of go around.
Just go around it.
I probably am never going to be eating Popeyes in the state again now because of that.
Oh, come on, man. There's other Popeyes.
There are outside of Minneapolis. I thought they were like all in.
There's one in St. Paul now.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
yeah, you're safe. Popeyes is safe for. Yeah.
Oh, phew.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to have a premature child ever again.
Yeah.
Is that children's hospital? They stole the chain. Was it that children's hospital or a different one? That was like right next to all the bad things.
Oh, okay. All right.
They stole a train from a children's hospital.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was the U of M one that's right on the river, or I think there's another children's hospital somewhere around there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you can say that's a white guy being afraid of stuff, but like, I don't want to go somewhere where I'm not going to get a fair shake. Like if I go through there and I get jumped, I'm going to be like that guy on the bridge, that trucker, right? I'm going to get dragged out and I'm going to get beat within an inch of my life. And my kids are going to have to watch it.
So you just say
that's
hey,
the state of Minneapolis right now.
I'm okay. One of my best friends is black. It's okay. I got my kente cloth.
Oh, you only have one?
I got my kente cloth in the back seat. I'm down with you people. I promise. So, all right. So, okay.
Oh, that's it. I heard that realty listings have gone up like 20%.
Oh yeah. So I mean, people are selling the crap out of their buildings. But so let me ask you this though. With that, how are you feeling about as a libertarian? How do you feel about it? I mean, because we've had conversations on this show about defunding the whole works, right? Defunding. So I mean, so one part of me says, why stop the police department? Why not go to the fire department? Why not go to the county sheriff's department? Why don't you work your way down the line? And why stop the police department?
The problem I have is it's one part of just getting rid of the police is not addressing the other side of that coin, which is everyone carries a gun and can protect themselves. I don't have that. Like if we got rid of the police, I still have to do all these things with firearms. I still have to take into consideration my property. I can't protect my property with a firearm. I can only protect my life and my family's lives, or someone, kind of within my little circle of who I have a duty to. So sure, let's get rid of the cops. Okay, but I get to shoot someone who's trying to destroy my business.
Yeah.
Like that's the other side of the coin. We haven't addressed that other side of the coin with this. We're just going to get rid of the police.
Well, something really interesting is taking place. Something really interesting is taking place right now. So one of the things that I find incredibly interesting is that I have a lot of black friends who are saying, hey, I'm going to go out. Right now is the time to go out and buy a firearm. You need to buy firearms so you can protect yourself. And what do you gun people think about black people going out and buying guns? And I'm like, that's freaking fantastic. Go out and buy them. buy them all up. I mean, the problem that I see that black people
Yes, get
have had
get the guns off of the whites gun store owners.
the problem.
Oh no!
The problem that I have with Black America as it's currently constructed, and this isn't speaking for all black people. It's just the NAACP, the Black Lives Matter groups, is that, look, man, at the end of the day, this is our home, right? This is America is our home. If you want to live somewhere else, you have every opportunity to do that. But America is our home. If you are not going to include yourself in the system, and you are not going to invest in that system and try to make that system work for you, well, then what's the point? What are you here for, right? This is the home. It might not be perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's perfect. I've talked about my issues with race. I've talked about my issues with racism on this show, and I've been very honest and forthcoming about that. But you have to be willing to change the system from within. And so the Second Amendment does not have a brown paper bag test. Okay. Anyone who wants to own a firearm, law abiding, obviously, non-felon, which we've talked about that, Soder. But anyone,
I can get what you're saying here.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to buy a gun, you have the right to do that. But the thing that I find fabulously fantastic is do it. If you are watching this show right now, and you have a black friend, I want you to ask them before the end of the night. In fact, text them right now and ask them, hey, do you have a firearm? Would you like to go out shooting? Make sure they all have one. You know why? Because when the election time comes around, and then all of a sudden this guy who's went out and bought a firearm to protect himself and to protect his family goes out and starts hearing Joe Biden talk to what was the Beto O'Rourke down there in Texas, saying he's going to be my gun czar. He's going to get the guns off the street. Yeah, you just wait. Wait, I'm black and way too broke to afford a gun right now. Oh, come on now. You're getting
Shadow Kings.
You're getting an extra.
At the very least, go and get a high point 9mm.
I got a lake. I got a lake. If you go and I got a lake that if you want to go scuba diving to the bottom of, you can get all types of firearms, man. All types of them. That's assuming that you can swim, which I'm assuming that you can.
Oh,
but hey, I'm assuming that you can. But
yeah, he doesn't need to swim. He needs to sink. He just needs a way to breathe so he can walk back to shore.
But he's got to get back up, though.
Oh, yeah. He says I can't swim. Maybe tie some weights to you so you can get down faster.
But he's got to get back up, though,
so the guy can pull you up, or the boat just follows you in shore and you just walk up out of the water.
So,
like a Terminator or like a robot.
Go get yourself a high point 9mm. But I'm looking at, and I'm seeing on Facebook, I'm seeing on other social media platforms, they are blacks and Mexicans and whites, and they can't keep guns on the shelf. I mean, I went to go look for another carry pistol, and man, they were sold out of just about everything. Just about everything they were sold out of.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks ago. It was before the Floyd stuff. I went to
good luck getting a 9mm right now. Yeah,
and I went to, well, granted, there's only like 2 stores in Wilmer that sell firearms. And I went to both of them, and both of them were out of 9.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, this is not good.
Well, if you need some,
something's about to happen here. What I do is I have a bunch of ammo for all the guns I have at the bottom of the lake. It's just that when I shoot, I rotate. So I buy what I shoot.
Okay.
So if I can't buy something, I don't shoot it that day.
Okay. Fair enough.
That way I don't run out like my cousin did once. She was gifted like 1,000 rounds of 9mm, and then she went to the range one day and wasted it all. And my uncle who gave it to her was like, that was meant for civil unrest.
So I mean, so was she shooting FMJs then, or what?
Yeah, it was probably ball ammo.
Well, why would you? Okay, well, okay, all right. Okay, so I get that high points are not fantastic, but they will still go bang. Okay, if I have a choice between having a knife or pepper spray in my on my person and I'm being attacked, or a high point, I'm taking the high point every damn time, right? I don't personally own a high point, but if I had to have something, I would take the high point. Someone saying get a Taurus. So
Yeah.
bloody thumbs. Sorry, bloody thumbs. Taurus are better gun at the same price point. You know what? I've owned some Tauruses. They were great. I've owned some Tauruses that were junk. I have a missing finger. I lost my trigger finger, so I have to shoot with my middle finger, and because of that, I have to have a pistol with a very deep beaver tail. If it doesn't, then I get slide bite. So if I'm shooting a semi-automatic pistol, I'll get really nasty slide bite because my hand sticks up a little higher than most. Yeah, Q's missing a finger. That's it, man. So, world's worst nose picking accident ever. So, not only am I black, I'm also an amputee. So, that gives me extra brownie points, doesn't
I think so. I think
it?
so. And look, you can definitely get a better gun than a high point, but a high
Sure.
point's cheap. And I've never owned one. I've watched a bunch of videos on them because they're a joke gun. Let's be honest. But Iraq veteran 8888, I thought did a really good video reviewing the high point. And the point of his end review was, look, it just works. And they put it through some very tough, very, very punishing tests. And that thing still worked. So look, when you're getting a gun, you're getting it for a purpose, and that's to go bang. And a high point can go bang. Granted, it's not the best gun. It's a heavy gun. It's a blowback. But look, if you don't know what kind of ammunition you're working, blowback's pretty nice because it's going to be able to eat any ammunition you put at it.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not, just a primer going off. But a gun's a gun. Like you said, if I had a choice between a gun, mace, and a knife, I'd choose the gun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, obviously, if I'm trusting my life to it, so if it's something that I'm carrying on a daily basis, and I don't know, let me know in the chat. I mean, that would be kind of a fun show to kind of go through some. I don't know. Can we do that? Can we go through some of my favorite carry pistols? Can we?
I don't know
do
why
that?
not. I mean, you'd have to go scuba diving first, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I would, but I'm willing to go scuba diving. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not, but some of my favorite carry pistols. We could talk about some of that stuff, home defense stuff. But no, I'm a huge proponent of the Second Amendment, and so I'm really excited to see people actually getting involved, taking advantage of their First Amendment rights, taking advantage of their Second Amendment rights, going out and getting taking your family's defense and taking the defense of your personal property into your own hands, not pawning that off on somebody else, not saying, well, the police will do it, they'll take care of it. Do it. And the good part about it is just wait till you get a bunch of people, Soder, that go out and they spend 1,000, 1,200, $2,000, okay, on firearms, and some yahoo politician comes out and says, yeah, you're gonna have to give those up to make.
I'm gonna give you $100 RB gift certificate for that. Wait, what?
Yeah, just wait. That's gonna go over like a fart in a spacesuit. That's never gonna work. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. So if you have any friends that are black, any friends that are people of color, talk to them, encourage them. If they do not currently have a firearm to protect their family, make sure that you talk to them and you explain to them the importance of exercising their Second Amendment rights, hell, go with them to the gun range. Help them. Absolutely. We need to encourage more and more people to get involved, more and more people to exercise their rights, because the more people, Google appeared to have deleted that chat. So much for my joke about black people not swimming.
Holy cow, it really isn't in there. That was his first message. Wow.
I didn't see the comment, so I'm sorry. But yeah, man, encourage people, get involved, change the system from within. It is your right to. Just because you are a person of color doesn't mean that the Constitution doesn't work for you as well. Absolutely take advantage of that. Go out and buy an AR if you want, as long as you don't live in one of those states like California. So, Shoulder, I was at a local gun shop the other day, and I saw the most hideous thing I've ever seen. I saw an AK-47 pump action.
What?
Pump action. It was a California special. Yes. So
in Minnesota?
In Minnesota.
Someone get here was like, I don't want this anymore.
It was a California special. It was a pump action AK-47. I'm thinking, that is gross. Why would anybody ever buy that? And so I went back into the gun store like a month later, and it was still there. So clearly everyone is kind of thinking the same thing I am. But yeah,
I kind of wonder about their decision to move to Minnesota, but
well, they got rid of it as soon as they got here. So maybe there's hope for them yet, whoever it is. But yeah, so as far as the police situation goes, guys, look, this isn't a police situation. This isn't a police problem. Okay. I think, you know what, Soder, I think a fun show would be for us to go through all of the high profile white people that have been killed by the police over the last several years. There have been a lot.
Sounds like something an alt-right white nationalist would do.
No, it wouldn't, but I think that it would be important for people to be able to see how we are being cucked, right? How the media is taking this narrative of black people being killed by the police at an alarming rate. Now, there are certain things that are true. Black people are killed by the police at a much higher rate per capita, okay, than whites are. More white people on a yearly basis are killed by the police. But for
sounds like you're making an argument using white math.
but you know, but what did Joe Biden say? 10 to 15% of Americans are just terrible people, right?
That was like, I read that, and Diet Soda was, what are you laughing at? I was like, Biden just said this. Well, what does it mean? Like, why is that funny? He's like, because people make up 13% of the population. That's why.
So my wife, I was laughing at it also, and my wife was like, "Wait a minute, was that a black joke?" And I was like, "Wait, well, I can't necessarily say it was. You know, if Trump would have said it, it definitely would have been a dog whistle, right? Isn't that what they used? It would have been a dog whistle to all of his racist buddies."
You know, that's a good point, because like Biden said it and no one heard it.
Right.
That means it really was a dog whistle.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So, but 10 to 15% of Americans are just really bad people. So,
it's even funnier because like the people who would vote against him is like half the population. So,
well,
he didn't call it a basket of deplorables like Hillary did.
Well, oh man, you know, so it's so interesting to hear these things, and I think that the way to defeat these particular situations is obviously through more freedom. It's through more freedom. Um, I'm not going to fault anybody for protesting. Hey, that is your constitutional right. Absolutely protest. And for anybody that's in the chat, and encourage people, hey, I might not agree with what it is that you're protesting. I might not agree with the premise that you're using to protest, but America is a country founded on the right to be free. And if you want to protest, if you believe that wholeheartedly in what it is that you believe in or what you're protesting, absolutely go out there and let your voice be heard. Now, if you start to if you start to tear shit up, we're gonna shoot you. But but go out there and peacefully protest. And people should have that right, and I will fight for people to have that right. But good night, man. It is just unfortunate to see um, these situations where you have people constantly talking about, well, black people are being killed at a higher rate. No, black people are not being killed at a higher rate. Black people have more interactions with the police. So what do you think that and do you think that white people are calling the police on black people? Absolutely not. Black people are calling police on each other. And so what's going to happen when black people go to call the police because they're being robbed? And guess what? Nobody shows up. Now, the people over in the nice neighborhoods in Minnetonka, the people over in the nice neighborhoods in what's the name, Chaska and Chanhassen and those areas, they're going to get private security. They're going to somehow figure out how to lump that in their HOAs. But the blacks, the Mexicans, the lower income folk, if you will, are going to be disproportionately affected by getting rid of the police department. Now, I'd say go a step further. I say just defund all of it. Defund Congress. No offense, Tim, but you're not here, so I'm going to say it. Defund state legislator. Get rid of all of
Wait,
it.
you agree with Dayton? What?
And I've said for years, man, I think the state legislator ought to be a volunteer basis completely, but that's just me. But no, man, it's frustrating to me because I feel that we must get people involved in the system. It is only fair, it is only right that people get involved. And that they make informed decisions, and we have to inform people. And just wait till the next yahoo comes around and says, hey, I know you just spent $2,000 on these firearms, but yeah, we're going to take them away. It's not going to matter what they're saying or what Colin Kaepernick is saying, because that immediately affects them. When they decide to defund the police departments and the neighborhoods that were already the least safe become even less safe, right? Then you're going to see where the bear shits in the woods. That's when you're going to see the rubber hit the road. So I say, you know what? Let's let it play out. Let's let it play out. I'm not concerned because I've already taken the necessary precautions to make sure that my family's going to be all right. Primarily living out here in the middle of nowhere. My driveway's a mile freaking long. I'll see you before you see me.
Unless it's wintertime.
I see what you did there, but I can swim.
What are you gonna do? Swim in snow?
Oh man. So it's going to be exciting to see how all this plays out. It really will. I'm excited to see. We're living in very interesting times, and never have I seen both sides. I'm not rubbing it in, Shadow King. I promise, man. I'm really not rubbing it in. I honestly was just trying to be funny. I didn't. If you wouldn't have told me that you couldn't swim, I would have never known any different. So I just said that because the common misconception. Why don't you get a swimming lesson, bro? Like, don't put us all out there like that. I don't eat watermelon just because I refuse to succumb to Soder's generalization of black people. So I quit watermelon. If I can quit watermelon, you can take a swimming lesson. So
Well, he hasn't quit fried chicken either, or chicken
hell no,
wings. So
neither of you, bro. I've seen what you can do to 8-piece. Don't even start with me.
no, I'm just well, it's is that a misconception that your people like fried chicken, or
Everybody's people likes fried chicken. Fried chicken is the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet.
What about watermelon? I mean, the same thing about watermelon. Who doesn't like watermelon? Apparently you, because you don't want to look like a caricature or something.
Well, you know what? Hey, look, I already got big lips. There's no way in hell you're going to see me wrapping my big lips around watermelon. It's just not going to happen.
But I can see that happen with chicken, is what you're saying.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I can only do so much. I can only do my part. I'm not giving up the chicken. Sorry.
Fine. I'm not going to give up my bland food either.
Oh man. You know what? You do that. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to leave that one alone. So, but this whole CHAZ thing, man, I'm watching and I'm seeing this, and I'm realizing that there's a lot of libertarians to be made in this whole situation. Is there not? I mean,
I would hope so.
It just seems like there's a lot of liberty-minded people who are, whether they're attempting to use the government to change things on their side or the other side. Eventually people are just going to realize that, man, neither side has really got your best interest at heart. Let's be honest. Okay. Most of them are in it for their own selfish personal gain. And if you don't know your rights, if you don't know the rights within the Constitution, well, then you're gonna be fighting from behind.
You're gonna be paying a guy protection fees.
But it really doesn't scare me at all. I actually had somebody ask me, they're like, well, what about all these thugs in Minneapolis going out and buying guns? You know what? If they can legally go out,
thugs buying guns, I thought that was illegal.
Right?
Why are you concerned?
That's crazy, man. I actually watched a guy. I was sitting in the gun store, and this guy comes in there and he's trying to buy a gun. He's got like face tats and all this stuff. And the dude's like, hey, I want to buy this right here. And he's like, okay, well, do you have your carry permit, or do you have a permit to purchase? He's like, my what? Do you have a permit from the sheriff saying that you can legally buy a pistol? I gotta have that. Yeah. I thought they said on the news all I had to do was just come in and just pay you for it and I could get it. No, that's not the way it works. And so the dude got pissed because he thought he could just come in there and pan some money and walk out with a pistol, right? And so it's so ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous, especially in the state of Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the worst. But it is what it is, and you figure out the rules and you live within those rules. But the one thing I can't quite figure out, so I wasn't really in tune with this whole CHAZ deal, right? It's comical to me because I saw a picture that they had a little garden, and I swear this thing couldn't have been more than like 10 by 10, right? And they said that this is a black only and indigenous people's garden. No one else.
Is it the 40 acres and the mule? Or?
They didn't even get the 40 acres, bro. They didn't even get 40 square feet, right? So and so
wait a minute. 10 by 10, that's 100 square feet.
I know. But anyway, so it was ridiculous, man. I'm like, how many people are you gonna feed out of that? Like
maybe the rabbits,
maybe. But so well, this is only for indigenous peoples, and I'm like, all right, no offense, and I'm sure I'm about to piss some people off, but oh well. So for all this talk about making things right and reparations, like just because reparations were to be paid, right, doesn't mean that the bitching is going to stop. Doesn't mean that the complaints are going to stop. I mean, no offense, but I think that as far as reparations go, do you honestly believe if there was a reparations act to go through, Soder, do you think that black people would get a deal anywhere nearly as good as the American Indians have got?
Oh gosh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Uh, although, would you be okay with rampant alcoholism and incest?
Hey man, that's personally inflicted. That's personally inflicted. That has nothing to do with the United States of
Okay.
America. That has everything to do with bad people doing bad things. But um but
It's
but
just 10 to 15%.
right? But we're talking about being able to establish sovereign nations, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Maintain
true autonomous zones, so to speak.
true autonomous zones, right? To be able to obtain sovereignty, to be
Well,
able
theirs
to.
is kind of a weird sovereignty.
It is a weird
Okay.
sovereignty, but it's far more sovereign than you and I have, right?
That is true. That is true.
So
Uh,
the casinos, right? I mean, in states
yep,
even that don't
casinos.
allow casinos, they're able to have
I
casinos.
want to say
Um,
there's less taxes in those places. There's
they're
like no state taxes in a lot of cases. Um, they have their own police forces a lot of the time.
a lot of times they have their own police forces. Absolutely. So, do you really think that black people are going to get a deal similar to that?
Uh, gosh, probably not.
Absolutely not.
They
I
kind
would.
of
I would
they
go.
kind of sort of did with the whole Liberia thing, though.
Well,
But
that.
that didn't turn out too well.
We're not going into that yet. But but in all fairness, we did a hell of a job with Black Wall Street before
Yes,
that whole
and then
fiasco.
that was
So
the anniversary of that was recently, wasn't it?
it was, and Juneteenth, Trump was supposed to be doing a rally in Tulsa, and I guess he changed the date on it. I think that was missed opportunities, man. Missed opportunities. He should have
That is
had it.
huge mistake. Oh my gosh, can you imagine him going up there and
Oh,
talking about the travesty that happened?
oh,
Like, hey,
oh.
look, all the Democrats burned down your Black Wall Street, and no one knows about it. You haven't been told about it in school. Go read about it on Wikipedia right now. You're going to be pissed. We're gonna have George Floyd times 100.
I remember when I told you about Black Wall Street, and you were like,
And
"What?"
yeah, and I was like, what the no way that happened. I mean, sure, there were lynchings, black people were driven from towns, but there's no way an entire town got
Was-
wiped off the map and no
Yeah.
one talks about it.
Yeah,
No, kid, no,
Yeah.
No, you're pulling my
Yeah.
leg, man. You're pulling my leg.
I remember telling you about that and seeing the sheer look of horror on your face when you were like, "This really happened. This really happened."
Yeah.
And like, and so, and it's interesting because look, I sit in the middle, right? I try to be fair to both sides. And so one of my buddies says, nobody alive today has ever been a slave, and nobody alive today was ever a slave owner. Good point. Fantastic point. That's great. The problem is you can't just turn a deaf ear to what people are saying. Now, the way that they're saying it, look, man, if you wanna burn shit down and you want to assault people and you want to be violent, then I'm not hearing you out. I'm not listening to you. But if you're honestly saying, look, we want an America that works for everybody, we want an America that's fair to everybody, we want to be able to feel the same level of representation, absolutely get yourself involved. Get involved. But when I sit there and I ask someone, hey, who's your state representative? I don't know. Well, who are your council members? I don't know. Well, who's your sheriff? I don't know. Well, you can't tell me that you want the system changed and you're an activist and you're woke and you can't even tell me who the people are responsible for establishing the laws and establishing your community. You're not involved. You're not woke. I mean, you're a pawn. Is basically what you are. You do whatever Big Daddy Media tells you to do. you're outraged by whatever big daddy media tells you to be outraged about. So if you're not willing to get involved to that level and to vote and to take those types of actions, then get out of here. Get out of my. I don't even want to hear about it. But at the same time, when I hear people make the other argument of, well, you weren't a slave, your daddy wasn't a slave, and no, that has nothing to do with it. We can talk about things like Jim Crow. We can talk about things like Black Wall Street. We can talk about people that are still alive today, right? Who witnessed and saw those things in place. Those are true wounds. Those are things that people have to be able to get over and to deal with. I wanted to have my grandmother on. My grandmother was actually in the first class that integrated in the state um, of um, of Arkansas, right? And I hear those stories, man.
Now, how many years later? 60, 70 years later?
Yeah,
We're wanting to have segregation again, I guess.
Well, but that's the crazy part, right? Because that's what this all leads to. It all leads to segregation. And like I told you, the guy that on the Black Guns forum who was telling me, well, segregation was fine. We wanted equality, so separate but equal. Okay.
Oh gosh, remember what MLK was doing, right? He was walking against that. So you're with the LBJs, I don't even know who else around that era was calling for it. So you're with everyone up into that point in the South who was advocating for Jim Crow.
It's absolutely 100% sickening. But the problem is that if people don't educate themselves, they're going to continue to fall for the same thing, the same lies. And now it's cyclical, man. It's cyclical. I'm encouraged though. I'm not upset. I'm not worried. I mean, it's concerning slightly, but I think that as people continue to involve themselves and continue to exercise their constitutional rights, that's all I want to see. I want to see people exercise their rights, know your constitutional rights, because if you know them, you will not forget them. When someone decides to come and take those away from you, then you will know that you are being wrong. And I guarantee you that anyone who wants to take those things away from you, I'm willing to fight on anybody's side who wants to protect your rights. I don't care if you are black, white, or otherwise, gay, straight, whatever it is. If you are fighting for your constitutional rights, you have a friend in me. So, but hey, man, it has been a long weekend. It's been a fun, chill stream, man. It really has been. Always fantastically fun to hang with you, buddy, and joke with you. I think there might be some slave food in the other room, so I think I'm about to go and partake in a little bit of that. So,
all right, I'm not going to keep you. I can see you're just trying to leap out of that chair.
Yeah, don't stand between me and my slave food, bro. So, but yeah, no, fantastic. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for visiting with us. The slap stream will be coming here shortly, so be in tune. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you follow me. I think Twitter is my Twitter address in the description of the video.
It should be.
Okay.
Last I knew it was.
If you don't,
let me check quick. Yeah, Q's Twitter.
Yeah, if you don't follow me on
right
Twitter,
in there.
Be sure to follow me on Twitter. We'll keep you up to date on that stuff. If you have not liked the video, push the like button. Like the video. We want to know what you guys want. We're gonna bring you what you want. I haven't seen anything in the comments about any interest in the firearm stream, so we're gonna let that slide for right now unless we hear otherwise. But the slap stream will be coming up. I am working on I'm keeping the pimp hand strong, y'all. So I'm ready to bring the pain. So,
Oh man.
And there is a pimp's prayer. There is a pimp's prayer. And so I think I will.
What is it?
Oh, I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you're a fan of Boondocks, you have heard and you have seen the pimp's prayer. So
I should have known that it was from there.
So be sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Even if you think you are, make sure that you are subscribed. I've had a lot of people reach out to me here recently who said that they thought they were subscribed at one time and they were unsubscribed for whatever reason. Be sure to check that out and resubscribe. We want to continue to bring you guys good content, fun content. Hey, we don't have to agree. We can respect and love each other anyway. So thank you guys so much for being here. Yep. He said, yep, a pimp named Slickback.
Pump is funnier.
Pump is funnier, but a guy his name was a pimp named Slickback. And so he said, and I'm sorry, I'm going to offend some of the ladies in the group maybe, but he says, did you know that 70% of women are affected by hearing deficiency? Said, no, I didn't know that. He said, therefore, scientifically speaking, speaking to a woman may not be the best way of communication. He says, I could never hit a woman. He says, well, you has not been hitting her, getting the desired results. Yeah,
oh
it was. I'm cleaning it up a little bit. There was some words in there, but wow, yeah. Back when you could make jokes and they didn't have to be politically correct. Those were the days.
Oh boy. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Have a good night.
Maybe catch us next week on DLive because we're kicked off of YouTube.
No, you can pull up that video right here on Facebook. They better not get. We've said plenty of other things that could get us kicked off. It better not be that one. But hey, you guys have a great night. Have a great week. We will make sure we let you guys know when we are going to do the slap stream. It'll be coming up here pretty quick. So Soder's going to go first. He's going to get his slap in, and then I'm going to finish it. So I'm super excited. Super excited. Be sure to tune in. Have a great night, guys.
All right. Night, everyone.
Bye.